Back in April, me and Ice and Salt got a little bored. Me and Ice are both very old veterans of the game, and we were curious to see how good people's memories are from the old days of the game. So the monstrosity me and Ice created was the Impossible Iceberg. An iceberg with 8 layers on it full of pure dumb things. The entire iceberg was a troll. Stuff that was worded in really odd ways to make people confused. Stuff in the complete wrong depths to try and get people to think what they found was less common or more common than they originally even thought in the first place. It was called the Impossible Iceberg for a reason, because it was literally impossible. There are things on this iceberg only me and Ice knew, and it was impossible to find or gather information on it. We put my Discord to the test with a 6-hour slow mode, where everybody attempted to explain what was on the iceberg. Those who succeeded got a special role, and those who were the first to find out a certain part will be recognized for their efforts. It's time for you guys to probably learn a lot about this game you previously did not know. Thank you all 5,000 subscribers, because this is the Impossible Iceberg Explained. Alright, nobody really cares about the surface level stuff, so I'm going to completely breeze through the beginning of this iceberg, so just be a little bit aware of that. On the left, you'll see the topic I am talking about, as well as the name of the person who was able to find it out first. Alright, let's begin with T-Posing David. T-Posing David is a secret inside of Ring 3. The old way you were supposed to get there was to clip out of Slight Inconvenience. However, since laugh clipping was patched, you can't do that anymore. And currently, you can still get to this area by going ahead and falling outside of Inverted Colors. Upon doing this, there's actually a little bit of a corner clip secret, which gives you access to Ring 3 Sub-Realm, the Event Realm. There's a reason why there's a disclaimer in the game's description saying that Juke is not the original owner, because Juke isn't. The original owner is actually Oberntune, or known back in the old days as Kitty Cannon, and the game was formerly owned by him and known as Kitty's Tower of Hell. The game was able to get up to Ring 6 in his leadership before a huge dramatic issue happened, and then the game was shifted owners back to Jukeries. Effortless was a difficulty that was placed under easy, and was only used for one tower ever, and that tower was Slight Unhappiness. This tower would later be replaced with Annoyingly Simple Trials, along with its badge. So, if you're somebody that beat Slight Unhappiness all the way back in the old days, you already have the badge for Toast already. Citadel of Void was a project started by Jukeries to try and prevent people to try and make a new hardest tower. It would take many years, and eventually only be finished recently by Blocker. TODCC refers to the classic version of Tower of Difficulty chart that was made by Itnir. Both the revamp and the old version used to exist in Ring 2 coexistently, until Itnir asked for its removal. Tower Screen Punching would receive 3 different floors in order to make sure it had 10 floors. The story goes that Oberon got a little bit too excited making Tower Screen Punching that he simply forgot to add a 10th floor. 2 of these were placed right on top of the 9th floor, and one of these was even placed in between the green and brown floor. In the end, all of these were removed, and none of them exist today. And so the towers exist with 9 floors. The TOH meme room is just simply a little bit of a secret room that you corner clip into that has a bunch of outdated and memes in it. Citadel of Laptop Splitting secret ending is, well, a secret ending for Citadel of Laptop Splitting. It is achieved by getting over 70 imperfections inside of the Citadel itself. Upon doing so, you unlock 2 additional floors and a boss fight. Alright, welcome to the surface level. This time we have some quite interesting things, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. Let's begin with 3-3. Remember I was talking to you about Kato's dramatic event? Yep, it was this. On the 3rd of March 2019, basically everything went down into shreds. Oberon pretty much wanted the game to be completely decimated, and told Juke to go ahead and take it over. Juke initially declined, but in the end, Juke went ahead and gave in, and saved the game using autosaves from the game's developers. Remember Stone Facility? What if I told you its original name was actually Tower of Serious Salt? Because that's exactly what it was. Back in 2018, Stone would originally start as Tower of Serious Salt. It was originally meant to be twice as hard as True Scale. It would later be buffed and set into Stone Facility, making one of the game's probably most popular deconfirmed towers of all time. What if I told you there used to be an easy difficulty tower in Ring 2? Because, well, there actually was one, and it was known as Tower of 1 equals 0, or Too Easy. This tower would be later removed by its creator by citing reasons why he thought it was bad for the game's progression. Tenchi is a boss fight that is secret inside of Ring 4 that was made by one of the game's former moderators, known as Popop. This fight is known for being notoriously difficult, and is widely considered to be soul-crushing on the game's chart. I can't explain this one without fear of having this video taken down, so I'm sorry. Congratulations to the Boy of Steel Josh for being able to find this gem. Gone Intense is a very old meme started by the community. Basically, you know those people who have black profile pictures and have Gone in them? That's basically what this was picking on. They would commonly joke around saying Gone Intense about these individuals. What if I told you the soul-crushing difficulties used to be one single difficulty, and was known as Godspeed? Well, that's exactly what happened. It was the same color as Terrifying, and sometime in the end of 2018, the soul-crushing split would occur, giving us the 4 soul-crushing difficulties that we all know and love today. The SC Tower Museum is a little bit of a secret museum on the top of Tower. You have to go ahead and jump from the top of the frame into the room. Upon getting there, you'll be greeted with a special museum area where you can go ahead and take a look around. Welcome to the first of 3 ocean levels. This is where information might start to get a little bit interesting to you. Let's first talk about the Yoda badge. The Yoda badge is a secret badge inside of Ring 2 that sits behind Chloe's plaque. There's a 2x2 little section you can squeeze into, and in there you'll see a little bit of a Yoda decal that gives you a secret badge. If you're one of those annoying people that go into the comments section of JTO music and say you came from JTO, shame on you. Because this is one of those times that you could have actually put in the game at serious jeopardy. Seal uses a lot of music from Infinity in his towers, and what resulted was a whole bunch of younger JTO players going ahead and plaguing the entirety of the comments section. Infinity noticed this and got upset, and contacted Seal inside of his own server, asking for duo music of his to be removed. Music solely made by Infinity was fine. However, if there was a collab partner, it was not allowed. This was known as the Infinity Copyright Strike. Tower of Hell is one of the most popular games on the Roblox platform, commonly surpassing over 100,000 concurrent players. That's a lot. What if I told you it was initially inspired by Obertoon's Kato? Yep, Obertoon is the co-owner of it today, and if it wasn't for his tower ideology from 5 years ago, it likely wouldn't have happened. So, believe it or not, one of the most popular games on the Roblox platform is actually inspired by Kato. Vendetta Banana was a meme, which, well, was just Vendetta Banana. This is such a dumb meme that I really don't want to explain it any further. The piano fight is a sequel to Tenchi that is located in Ring 6. It's a lot like Tenchi where it's insanely difficult and insanely frustrating. Do you like Easter eggs? Perhaps you might want to go ahead and try and find the hidden Fijo in every single ring inside of JTO. Basically, there's a model of Fijo 20's character just hidden somewhere in the ring. Try and go ahead and find it. Good luck. What if I told you there was actually a Thanksgiving event that this game had once? It was located in Ring 2 and happened in 2019. It was a temporary tower known as Tower of Autumn Harvest. This tower was challenging difficulty, and those who were able to complete it were able to go ahead and get a special spicy turkey leg item. What if I told you that Tower of Deep Darkness was originally supposed to be for Ring 3? It used to have its portal and everything was done inside of Ring 3. However, it was moved to Ring 2, which personally I'm very glad they did, because Ring 2 has very few towers. Nilex is one of the most important people in JTO, but yet nobody ever talks about him. Nilex was an old white hat exploiter who helped staff test old areas of the game, and he was good at it. He had a playstate compiler, but he didn't use it to steal the game or anything. He used it to help find the bugs themselves in order for them to go ahead and get patched. His work was eventually well noted and could have been the reason why that the game's very infamous gray difficulty was named Nil. Everybody complains wanting for TOI to get a revamp, but what if I told you that TOI's revamp is in-game right now? This is Tower of Inception Evolved, the first troll one. What if I told you there was an original version of Tower of Inception? When buttons were introduced to the kit, It Nice went ahead and restarted the tower again, and well, we got Tower of Inception Evolved. However, due to the naming dispute with Tower of Impossible Expectations, the Evolved was dropped to give us typical, good old Tower of Inception. So for all you guys who are wanting a revamp of TOI, it's already in-game right now. You know how they say the JTO and OSU communities are pretty close? Well, let me tell you the story about Atronac. Atronac was a very old veteran player to the game, and I mean very old, coming since the very beginning. They were one of the most skilled individuals in the entire game, without a mile. They were actually the first victor of Tower of Glory, believe it or not. Sadly, Atronac would later leave Obby and go to OSU. Today, Atronac is the number 4 worldwide OSU player. It's hard to wrap your mind that a simple tower game was the original home of one of the top worldwide players of OSU. This is something I talked about in the Elite Obvious video. It's the Maple Yabasabi. Yeah, remember the Maple Yabasabi? Well, this was a controversial event which was a very easy R15 obby. If you did it, you would get Elite Obvious. This caused a bunch of drama and a lot of instability with the role itself. There actually used to be a World 3 for JTO, and it was called the Blend Star System. This was themed after Blend, also known as today as Zielazulski. This didn't stay in the ring select very long and was later removed, but at one point, there was a third world that was initially planned. Our next part of the iceberg is actually hidden a little bit inside of Ring 1, just inside of the viewing area here. This is Perpetual Adventure. Perpetual Adventure is actually what Jukeries was mainly working on before JTO itself. This is how Juke got started into obbying, and I have no idea where I am and why it's so dark. But this was a little bit of an obby game that Jukeries made before taking over JTO. Fortunately today I believe this isn't being worked on anymore. Might be hard to believe, but I was actually responsible for the first ever raid of a soul-crushing tower. Or raid, really, even period. Basically, me and 3 other people, Koi, Ice, and Kitten, got a little bored, so we rebeat Tower of Confusion using the Ghost Coil. There was a little bit of an overlook that allowed people to beat TOC with Ghost Coil, and well, this would be the last time that anybody would ever beat TOC with Ghost Coil. Welcome to the dumbest tower. Imagine if this got into JTO. Basically, imagine these stupid wedge jumps trying to climb all the way up to the top, and then get followed by 0.05 stud spam at the top. It's absolutely stupid, and hence, this never made it in game. It was an absolute joke that never saw the light of day. And Jesus, I'm sucking at these. Can I get up? Alright, I got a funny story for you. For some reason in the old days, Itnir was considered egg. It was some sort of meme, and he absolutely hated it. So basically, for Steeple of Egg Searching, which was 60 MMMs in Goose's creation, they went ahead and decided to make this meme into life. So, for the spring event, what did they do? Well, they pretty much made an egg inside of Steeple of Egg Searching to go ahead and get yourselves an egg of Itnir's avatar. The funniest part was at this point in time, Itnir was on the sidelines and was pretty much quitting at this point in time. And he came back to the spring event and saw this. I'm sure you can imagine what ensued. You guys think Towel sucks now? What if I told you that Side C used to make the tower literally soul-crushing? Yeah, Side C of this was absolutely terrible. Ever heard of Snowman 30,000? Likely not, because Snowman 30,000 was the original head of staff for JTO. When Kato was in infancy, this was a funny stunt that they did. The Ram Ranch Cowboy raid was pretty much going ahead and dressing up as a certain avatar with usernames of Ram Ranch Cowboy followed by a couple numbers, and then going into cafes, going ahead, playing some Ram Ranch and stuff like that. This is one of those times in Kato that I talk about where the community was very well linked, and it's definitely one of my most favorite memories from Kato. There used to be a graphical map of all the sub-realms that were going to be in JTO. However, I don't know where this is, but nonetheless it existed. Bonus points if you know about the Kato universe, though. Ah yes, I love this troll. The 2018 curation system. There was actually no curation system in 2018. It simply didn't exist. Pretty much how it worked is, if Oberyn liked your tower, it got in game. There was no curation system. Alright, so this is going to take some explaining because I don't know this very well. This is Mountain Man. When Oben was owner of Kato, there were a couple side projects he worked on, and Mountain Man the Fat Beatnik was one of them. Basically, this was a game where you'd be chased around by this Mountain Man or whatever. Nothing really related to Kato or J-To itself, but it's just a cool little side project that you might not have known about. This is something hidden in TOIE that you might not know. This used to be invisible, so very few people actually knew about it and wasn't uncovered till... it wasn't that long ago, but now you can actually see where you go. As you can see, there's a little bit of a secret path here in TOIE on the 6th floor. Like I said, this used to be fully invisible, so if you wanted to use this in an actual speedrun, you had to know where to go. But for normal use, it's a little bit useless because it literally skips the easiest part of 6, so pretty lame. If you look back at It Nice's channel, you can actually see this issue in action. Pretty much back in the old days where stuff wasn't playtested very well at all, there was a little bit of issue on Ring 3's release. Pretty much what happened was Tower of Lots of Damage and Funny Thoughts checkpoints were pretty much connected, meaning that you could not beat Lots of Damage at all. It was impossible. The only way you were able to beat it was if you flew ahead to Funny Thoughts' wind pad and went ahead and beat it that way. So pretty much it was only possible to beat it with admin powers until it eventually did get patched, but nonetheless, it's a little bit of a funny one. Let's go ahead and show you a cheese that was possible in the very old days. Follow me. So basically, you used to be able to get on top of here, get on top of the frame, go ahead and walk around it a little bit, and well, then you would go ahead and jump off and go ahead and hit the wind pad. However, as you know, this is definitely impossible. Basically, what happened was before the checkpoint system was a thing, you could pretty much go ahead and put your arm through the wall, and because the wind pad took up the whole room, you were able to go ahead and win. And it was, I believe anyway, possible with T-pose for a little bit, but eventually it was fixed. And today, even if you were able to somehow get your arm into that wind pad, the anti-cheat checkpoint system would most definitely kick you. So, an old novelty from the old days, and unfortunately, while it might have been so easy to beat Tofaf back then for a few days, it's unfortunately unable to be done today. Citadel of Horrifying Phobias, as of this video, is the only Citadel to ever be featured in an event. But what if I told you that wasn't supposed to be? Believe it or not, the first Citadel to ever be featured in the game would have likely went ahead and been Citadel of Festive Struggles. This was a 20-floor Citadel that was originally planned for Christmas 2018, but was later scrapped. If released, it would have came out before Citadel of Laptop Splitting, which would have made it the first Citadel in the game. However, like I said, it never came to be. It was originally then set back to 2019, before it was then scrapped forever. Today, there's only a place of it, but unfortunately it is private. One day I might ask Juke to go in, but for now, I'm not going to bother her about it. Maple Yavas, yes, I'm saying it that way to purposely mess with you, was an original developer of Kato. However, they would eventually get fired, and Kato to the Kato was their son. Pretty much they stole in-game assets to go ahead and produce this game. And well, Kitty Cannon wasn't taking it. Maple Yavas was completely taken out of the team entirely. Today though, Maple is the developer of Tower Defense Simulator. So in a way, Maple is the winner at the end of the day. The last Kato screenshot was originally going to be in this Iceberg, however due to a misunderstanding of the era of when the image was taken, it wasn't what I thought it was, so therefore it was removed from the Iceberg. Alright, let's move on to the last level of the depths. Most of the stuff on this layer is very juicy, so I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and talk about a very old player, Jacob Box. He was known for speedrunning the game, and upon doing so, he gained lots of views, which gave the game a ton of publicity. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's very active on YouTube anymore, but nonetheless, was one of the most important people in terms of getting the game to where it is today. When's the last time you've had a conversation about massive disappointment? Probably never. This is a badge that is supposed to be awarded when you die on the final stretch of a remorseless tower or harder. However, from my knowledge, it's not even implemented in the towers anymore at all. But originally, this was given to players who died before the boss fight began in Halloween 2018, but was later converted to the Massive Disappointment badge, which isn't even functional anymore today. The SMG subrealm was one of the subrealms that was originally supposed to be part of the subrealm map, but never came to be. It was a Super Mario Galaxy themed subrealm that was supposed to be worked on by Kloy, Nidoris, Recorded Memes, Punky, Ice, and Fijo. A dome was even put into Tokyo Heights as a secret. Oh boy, this is the juiciest one on the Iceberg so far. It nears tower verification requirements. Oh boy. So back in the old days, Itnir actually used to be an administrator, and this is one of the things he did in Power, was he tried to have verification done to all towers submitted in order for them to have a chance of being put in game. Pretty much, you had so many attempts in order to beat your tower, and it depended on the difficulty. It got to the point where at the higher difficulties, you either had 3 attempts or simply couldn't have a chance to mess up at all. To put the cherry on top, you couldn't even use no-clip. You had to use console to teleport yourself upwards. If you watch in the original version of TOI, where Itnir actually shows floors 1 through 6 of the original version, you can actually see when he falls that he's in console typing out and pasting himself, going ahead and sending himself back up. This is because no-clip and fly wasn't allowed. You had to legitimately go ahead and do this, which I find very funny, but nonetheless, it's something that not many people know, and was a very interesting time. What eventually led to its downfall was that Oberyn pretty much didn't enforce it at all. This is the first part of the Iceberg which was never found and was never broken through. This was the old Kato universe. Pretty much, Oberyn had a vision for the game and split the game into worlds, galaxies, and eventually the universe itself. Pretty much, it was estimated that under Oberyn's dream that there could have been thousands of towers in the game. Absolutely insane with all the subrealms, worlds, rings, and whatnot that were eventually put into play. As we all know, there are only 2 worlds, and this universe didn't make it. It was simply a concept from my understanding, but when the community got a hold of this, it had some very huge interest and lit some minds up. Could you imagine sitting in Ring 1 for 7 to 8 hours a day banning exploiters? That's what former head of staff Petruvi did. This guy was motivated as hell. This guy would ban 10 to 20 players a day, sitting in Ring 1, pretty much sitting AFK and doing nothing other than trying to find exploiters. He was a very dedicated staff member. However, once when the Kato ending happened on March 3rd, 2019, he went ahead and left due to all the drama ensued. He went ahead and switched his position over to Oz, which is still in power today. Silozolski used to actually be a developer for this game, which is kind of hard to believe considering his stance in the game now. But nonetheless, when he left with a bang. He told people that he put a message inside of a ring that he worked on the most, and that was Ring 6. There was a massive message on the wall that was very difficult to read, that was very long, and explained in detail about his conditions in the game. Today, he every once in a while posts up, but for the most part has moved on from the game. Nonetheless, he is probably one of the most important people that this game has ever seen in terms of where it is now. This is the bottom layer of the iceberg. It is the ocean floor. Stuff in here, I'll admit, is not going to be very interesting. It was mainly stuff that was very, very unknown. Except for one thing which we put in here to troll you guys into thinking you found something that wasn't nearly as good as you thought. But nonetheless, that's beside the point. So therefore, we shall honor every single person who was able to find out stuff in this ocean floor with a golden name. Alright, let's go ahead and honor those who were able to know the least known information. The first part of the ocean depths is the original Ring 7 lobby. Originally, Ring 7's lobby used to be vastly different. However, due to it being completely misaligned on its angles, it made it a pain in the butt to develop and was eventually gone ahead and scrapped entirely. The person who found it out, Duckmaster, actually went ahead and had some pictures of the original Ring 7 lobby. So, for probably the first time and only time ever that this has been shown to the public, this is what the original Ring 7 lobby was originally supposed to look like. Vastly different compared to what it is today. TOEDE was Tower of Overcoming Life Choice's original acronym. Itnice kept it a secret and never revealed it to the public. When he was asked about it not that long ago, he said that he simply forgot. But nonetheless, Tower of Overcoming Life Choices originally was supposed to be called TOEDE. Lots of in-ear stuff on this Iceberg, I know, but he has genuinely put into some very interesting stuff. And this is the other part of the Iceberg that was never cracked. This is the Stone Facility's CCOs. Pretty much what happened was the kill brick value inside of the script was gone ahead and copied and pasted multiple times, pretty much making the kill bricks damage you even more than normal. Itnice attempted to call these custom client objects, but in the end, it was never regarded. And when Itnice went ahead and got developer and verified builder got its CCO permissions, it pretty much was irrelevant. This is that thing I was talking to you about that was a little bit of a troll. The Zone 1 Gold Rock is a little bit of a secret that you go through in Zone 1 that eventually goes ahead and opens it up into these runic texts. And well, that's pretty much it. It's just a little bit of a secret inside of Zone 1 that you can do. If you look it up, you can go ahead and get a walkthrough of it if you're interested. Get Yeeted is a badge I am sure most of you have not heard of, because I am almost confident that this isn't even functioning in the game correctly anymore. Pretty much, this was a badge that was supposed to be given to those who were able to find a bug to launch them far outside of the ring. And well, when not even a tower released, this was one of the few times, if not the only time, it was possible to obtain it. If you jumped from the top of not even a tower and got far enough, you were able to actually go ahead and obtain the badge. However, nonetheless, I am almost confident that this isn't even programmed into the game anymore. And I'm sure you could probably VM far out and ring one and get it, but very few people have this badge. Ah, what an awesome day to play Kato. Let's go ahead and take a look outside and enjoy the view. Oh, what the hell is going on? What you just witnessed was the client object breakdown of 2018. Pretty much back in the old days, you didn't have to be loaded in a tower to see the client objects, because every single tower's client objects were loaded. And so, when players entered when Roblox pulled out a physics update, that's pretty much what happened. What resulted was Kato being shut down for a couple days. This is one of the many times in Kato's history that it was actually shut down. The client objects were revamped and were eventually reopened to the public. But if you ever go ahead and somehow get your hands on some very old Kato copies, when you try to load it up, that's what happens to the client objects. They absolutely go everywhere. Mainly the spinners were the ones that got affected, but there were a couple other ones too. Lastly, we have the gay ladder. This was a ladder that was so old in the versions of Kato that not even I experienced it. In fact, I believed it was only in the game up until around 1,000 visits. However, nonetheless, Paramox was one of those people who clearly knew about it. There was a very, very old ladder outside of TOH that took apparently around an hour long to climb. It was insanely long. Pretty much imagine a tower stress ladder on absolute steroids. At the top, it asked you if you were gay. And well, so the gay ladder was born. And well, it didn't last very long, and very few people, I am sure, climbed all the way to the top to see what was up there. But it leaves a very, very unknown tale that, well, the community has been opened up to. 5,000 subscribers is a ton. I thank you all for the support and love after all the time I have been here in JTO for almost the past 3 years. I hope you all learned something new in this video, as no matter how good you are, you can't know everything about this game. Seriously, I know this is annoying because you hear all of your YouTubers say this, but I am insanely thankful. Unfortunately, due to a situation that happened in JTO a couple days ago, as well as me not having much energy left in the tank to make videos, Bad Tower School, if you saw my community post on it, is likely not coming out this weekend, but we will see. So I am sorry about that. This video, I will admit, was a little rushed because I don't have much steam in the tank right now to make videos. because I need a vacation. Oh wait! I am going on a vacation on Monday. Yeah, I'm going to be on a vacation for 3 days going out to Kings Island. So if you're there on Tuesday or Wednesday the 22nd and 23rd of June and hear my voice, feel free to go ahead and say hi to me. I might let you take a picture with me. But I heavily doubt any of my fans will be at Kings Island those days, let alone go ahead and actually find me. So I am sorry for this video not being up to quality standards you might be used to. And it sucks a lot since this was my special, and I am sorry. Well, thank you everyone for 5,000 subscribers, and cheers to hopefully 5,000 more. I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again hope you learned something new. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay, are all the annoying JHT and JJT kids clicked away from the video? Good. Alright, follow me. We forgot something. Ah, yes. People in the Discord, you thought I forgot, didn't you? Well, well, well. Don't we have the Golden Challenge? In some icebergs, there's a final little thing on the ocean depths, or whatever it's called in icebergs, where it's a yellow color. This is pretty much like the ultimate thing. Like the single, just ultimate thing. And well, that is the forgotten difficulties for this iceberg. As I said in the outro there, I personally have kept this quite a big bit of secret from the JTO community for the past year or so. Ever since I started gaining traction on this platform, this is something I've been holding in the back of my mind. And well, it's finally time for the history to be revealed. I never decided beforehand to go ahead and reveal this, because unfortunately, there are some annoying people in this community I don't like. As you already know, and I said it, the JJT and JHT community is something I absolutely do not like at all. I find them annoying and extremely frustrating to deal with when they go ahead and poison themselves with their disgustingly terrible difficulty names inside of my Discord server and JTO chat. But nonetheless, I have decided to finally go ahead and reveal this because I think this is such an interesting story that literally nobody knows about. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and reveal the story of the forgotten difficulties. At its peak, there were 7 soul-crushing difficulties on the difficulty chart. Those are the 4 we have today: insane, extreme, terrifying, and catastrophic, with the extension of horrific, unreal, and nil. Well, that's what we did know. What if I told you that's not true? And the actual peak number of soul-crushing difficulties on the chart was 10! Yes, you heard me right. 10 soul-crushing difficulties. Let me explain. Basically what happened was Juke went ahead and was like, yeah, COV clearly isn't good enough with its difficulty it had. So Juke added 3 additional difficulties. And these are so forgotten, nobody knows the name or even the actual colors. All we actually know was the color of this trilogy. And the color was brown. There were 3 brown difficulties in between Unreal and Nil. And they only lasted for like 10 to 15 minutes before Juke went ahead and deleted the message and is completely gone to time. To make matters even worse, I believe this happened in the Kato era. So nobody in the staff team can go back in the JTO Discord logs and try to find it. It's simply gone to time. And that is why they are called the Forgotten Difficulties. Only me and Koi have any memory of them, other than the people we told. And I remember confronting Juke about this, and Juke only had a small teensy memory. So yeah, these were the Forgotten Difficulties. And well, now you know the story of how there were actually 3 more difficulties on the chart. I personally do not have any recollection of the names. However, the colors were a lot like the first 3 floors of Tower of Confusion. So if you want an idea of what those colors of the difficulties were like, there you go. So, well, imagine a time in JTO with 10 soul-crushing difficulties, because that's exactly what happened. And well, now you know. And they didn't last long either. and there's absolutely no evidence that they have lasted at all. So, well, there you go. That is the Golden Challenge of the Iceberg, and I heavily thank you all for the immense support, and just, wow. I know many people have been excited to see the forgotten difficulties revealed in my Discord server, and there you go. There are 3, quite literally, difficulties, and that's why they were removed. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you all for the immense support of this channel. If you went ahead and sat through and listened to this, you are a true supporter. Even though I know most of you probably were like, hey, wait, that progress bar in the video wasn't complete. Be honest. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. I'll see you all either in Bad Tower Score when I get back from Kings Island and potentially have a new favorite roller coaster, which is extremely unlikely, but who knows? Okay. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.